It isn't thunder that breaks the silence. It's a dead man's voice. Through a storm of white noise, a transmission cuts in, sharp, surgical. Specter Two-Seven to Keflavik Control, requesting immediate vector, fuel critical. Major Ava, Reaper 1. Morgan freezes mid-breath. That call sign shouldn't exist anymore. It could be interference, or something worse. 3 weeks ago, Specter Two-Seven, Lieutenant Caller Ethan Graves, vanished over the Barents Sea. She folded his flag, heard his eulogy. And yet now, his voice, low, urgent, alive, is transmitting on a retired NATO frequency using Cold War encryption. Impossible, yet real. Ava grips the throttle of her F-35A, cockpit lights painting her face in cold blue. Keflavik Control, this is Reaper 1. Confirm transmission origin. Reaper 1, stand by. The controller's voice wavers. Signal authenticates. Legacy Cold War cipher no longer in rotation. Her brows tighten. Barents is nearly 1,000 miles away. That signal shouldn't even exist. Static bursts, then another voice from Ops. Source routed through a Cold War polar relay reactivated 2 days ago. Someone's using it live. Ava's pulse hardens. No IFF, no transponder, just a phantom on the scope. Her wingman, Captain Ryan Falcon Ortiz, crackles over comms. Could be a trap, Ava. Someone's spoofing his voice. She stares at the wavering radar blip. Or it's him. The Arctic night yawns wide outside, endless black water under a shimmer of polar light. Her gut whispers what logic won't. This isn't a glitch. Then the radio sparks again, raw, gasping. Reaper 1, authenticate Sierra 1. Her heart stops. That was their code. She replies, voice barely a breath. Reply, Whiskey 6. Silence, then a ragged chuckle. It's me, Ava. They're right behind me. Her radar blooms red. 6 contacts, fast movers, closing hard. Command Ops, Reaper 1, she snaps. Unknown bogies bearing 310, launching for intercept. A pause. Then General Mercer's voice, low, weighted. Reaper flight, scramble, scramble, cleared for immediate takeoff. And Morgan, yes, sir? Whatever that is out there, it shouldn't be talking. Engines ignite like twin comets, slicing through Iceland's blizzard sky. And somewhere in that darkness, a man the world buried 3 weeks ago is flying home. If you can still hear this transmission, you're part of the story now. Tap subscribe to stay on the frequency the next signal drops soon. Turn on notifications, soldier. The storm's not over. The Arctic sky tears open with the roar of twin F-35As. Major Ava Reaper 1. Morgan leads the climb, her jet cutting through sleet and shadow like a blade through black glass. Beside her, Captain Ryan Falcon Ortiz holds tight formation. 2 stealth fighters threading the frozen corridor between Greenland and Iceland. Inside, Ava's helmet, the world shrinks to breath and radar pulses. Command Ops, Reaper flight on intercept vector 310, range 90 miles and closing. Brigadier General Mercer's voice cuts through static, steady, but wired tight. Reaper 1, weapons tight. Do not engage unless fired upon. Copy? Copy, Ava answers, though her tone says otherwise. She's broken orders before. Sometimes it saved lives, sometimes it cost them. Falcon scans his overlay. 6 contacts, fast movers, likely Sukhoi class. No nation code, no ID. Ava toggles infrared. 1 target flies erratic. Transponder dark, trailing heat. Old NATO cipher flashes across her HUD. That's him, she breathes. Specter Two-Seven. The radio crackles. Ethan's voice, shredded by wind and distance. Reaper 1, I'm bingo fuel. Took hits over the Barents. They've been hunting me since dawn. ROOK group, mercenaries, not Russian Air Force. Don't let them drag me back east. Her pulse spikes. ROOK defense, the kind of ghosts governments pretend don't exist. Command Ops, Reaper 1, she snaps. Friendly and captured Su-30. IFF corrupted. Request escort authorization. Static. Then Mercer's voice, heavier now. Negative. Maintain shadow intercept. We can't risk escalation. Ava's jaw tightens. Sir, he won't make it another 30 minutes. Falcon adds quietly. Jetstream's been carrying him west since dawn. That's the only reason he's still airborne. Below them, the Su-30 limps through the polar twilight, one engine flickering like a dying star. Above, the aurora spills green fire across the horizon, washing the sea in ghost light. Falcon, she murmurs. If they wanted him alive, he'd already be on the ground. He exhales. Then we're out of time. Her radar flares, a pulse of red. The 6 hostiles shift formation, spreading into an attack pattern. Ethan's voice bursts through static. They've got tone. Missile locks active. Ava's hand hovers over her weapon toggle. Every nerve screams to act, but command is still arguing, protocols dragging seconds into eternity. She can almost hear Mercer's voice in her head. Don't engage unless fired upon. And then, the first missile leaves a contrail across the night. The missile warning screams through Ava's headset, a piercing digital shriek. 6 red icons blossom across her HUD. Below, the limping Su-30 flares heat like a dying ember. Specter's locked, Falcon shouts. They've launched! Ava doesn't think. She moves. Her F-35 rolls hard left, G-forces pinning her to the seat as the horizon flips, sky and sea trade places in a heartbeat. Chaff! Flares now! Metallic confetti bursts behind her jet, scattering like dying stars. The Arctic night erupts in white streaks and static bursts, missile trails cutting through the storm. Command Ops, hostile launch confirmed, she snaps. The comms explode with chaos. Mercer, tower, intel, voices overlapping. Reaper 1, weapons tight, do not. Seconds drag. Command debates. She acts. Her jaw locks. Silence grips the cockpit. Fox 3. The AM-120D tears loose. Its engine screams into the void. For a split second, it veers wide, sliding past Specter's fading heat signature before the AI corrects course. Impact. A flash of blue-white fire blooms against the clouds. Splash 1? Falcon calls. Ava exhales, the sound more like a tremor than relief. Target down. Specter still airborne. 5 red icons remain, circling like wolves scenting blood. Reaper 1, Ethan gasps. I've lost radar, you're my eyes. I've got you, she answers. Stay under the deck. Follow my shadow. She dives low, slicing through polar mist. The aurora glows faintly above, cold light flickering off her canopy. Her HUD floods with distortion, ECM bursts, counterlocks, ghost echoes. 2 breaking east, Falcon warns. We can't take them all. Don't need to, Ava replies. Just make them blink first. She flicks radar active for half a second, just long enough to blind the swarm. 1 hostile banks away, confused. Another dives into the dark. Her second missile streaks free, guided by pure instinct. Another bloom of light, another kill. For a moment, silence returns, unnatural, heavy. Then Mercer's voice cuts through, low but steady. Reaper 1, you fired under NATO flag without clearance. You know what that means? Ava stares through the dim green veil of the aurora, where flares fade like dying ghosts. Yes, sir, she says quietly. It means one of ours is still breathing. Falcon's radar pings again. New contacts, larger, faster, closing from the north. Looks like they called for backup. Ava steadies her breath. Copy that, she murmurs. Let's finish what we started. And in the hush between radar tones, the silence hits harder than any missile. The silence doesn't last long. Her radio crackles back to life. Reaper 1, this is Specter. Ethan's voice rasps through static. frayed, human, alive. One engine out, fuel gone. I've got 5 minutes, maybe less. Ava's eyes snap to her HUD. Altitude dropping fast, distance to Keflavik 50 miles. They've been drifting west the entire chase. Tailwinds from the polar jet stream carrying him farther than physics should have allowed. Hang in there, Specter. You're almost home. Ethan chuckles weakly. Home? In a stolen Sukhoi bleeding fire? Don't get picky, she shoots back. Still breathing counts. She flips comms. Keflavik Command Ops. This is Reaper 1. We have a returning friendly in hostile airframe. Request emergency landing, full foam path. Copy that, Reaper, the controller replies. Runway clear. Rescue team standing by. Through her canopy, the volcanic coast of Iceland emerges. Black cliffs glistening beneath snow and aurora shimmer. Runway lights flicker ahead like a pulse in the dark. Hydraulics gone, Ethan groans. No landing gear. I'll have to belly her in. Ava edges closer, matching his altitude, each tremor of his crippled Su-30 mirrored in her motion. Follow my glide path. Keep your nose high till the last breath. He manages a half laugh. Still giving orders, Major? Still saving your ass, Colonel. The ground rushes up. Crosswinds buffet his jet sideways. Ava's voice sharpens. Ease her down, now. The Su-30 hits hard. Metal screams. Sparks cascade like molten snow. The fighter skids across the foam-coated strip, spinning once, then groans to a stop amid steam and silence. Specter, respond, Ava calls, breath ragged. Static, then a cough. I'm okay, Ethan gasps. But someone tell these manuals, they're all in Russian. Ava exhales, the sound breaking halfway between a laugh and a sob. Welcome home, Ghost. For a heartbeat, peace returns. Engines cooling, alarms silenced, the storm outside finally catching its breath. She dares to believe it's over. Then Falcon's voice cuts in, taut as wire. Reaper, look north. Ava glances at her radar and freezes. 3 new contacts. High, fast, inbound from the Barents corridor. Her pulse spikes. But calm never lasts long in the Arctic, she mutters. The screen glows red. Unidentified, closing fast. Her voice drops to a whisper, barely audible beneath the hiss of cooling steel. The storm's not over. It's just waiting. The hangar hums with the echo of engines long gone. Jet fuel and cold air still hang in the night, the scent of victory and grief. Hours after the landing, Keflavik base glows under floodlights. Crews move in silence, the kind that comes only after chaos. Major Ava Reaper 1 Morgan stands on the tarmac, helmet under her arm, eyes locked on the burned-out Su-30 resting like a wounded animal. Lieutenant Ethan Specter Graves sits nearby on a stretcher, oxygen mask loose, flight suit torn and blackened with smoke. He's no longer a ghost, just a man pulled back from the edge. Brigadier General Mercer approaches, his boots echoing on wet concrete. You realize you broke every rule in the book tonight? Ava meets his eyes, steady. Yes, sir. He exhales, a ghost of a grin flickering. Good, because following the book wouldn't have brought him home. Inside ops, screens glow with static. Analysts argue. Command drafts the version the world will believe. Outside, the night softens. Snow drifts over the runway. A pale polar halo glows above the hangar roof, faint but alive. Ethan limps toward her, wrapped in a thermal blanket, exhaustion etched into every line. They're sending me to Washington, he mutters. Debrief, medical, surviving ROOK custody apparently makes me valuable. Ava smirks. They'll want every detail. He shakes his head. Not all of them. Some things stay between ghosts. They share a laugh. Low, tired, real. The kind that only people who've flown through hell understand. Ethan glances upward, where the halo fades into cloud. You know what kept me alive out there? Ava looks up. What? The thought that someone still had my 6. She nods slowly. We don't leave our own. Not ever. He squeezes her shoulder before walking toward the medevac, his silhouette swallowed by fog and floodlight. A man reclaimed from the dead. Later, alone in her quarters, Ava scrolls through her tablet. A photo appears. Ethan, his wife, their daughter. Beneath it, thank you. She sets it down, pours a measure of Macallan 18, and looks toward the sea beyond the hangar. Waves crash against the volcanic shore, and the Arctic wind howls like a memory. Radar logs never explained those 3 contacts from the north. Intel called them false echoes. Ava knows better. She raises her glass toward the window, the stormlight flickering across her face. Here's to ghosts, she whispers, and the ones who bring them home. For a heartbeat, the world is still. Then, somewhere far above the Barrens, a dead frequency whispers her name.